Hey, welcome to this episode of Funhaus. This episode is brought to you by Lisa Mattress. We'll hear from them later in the show.
You taking my thing.
I know, she's trying to do the thing that you do.
Later in the show. You know what? I'm like the Joker to your Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
What?
please.
No.
Yeah,
That's not true at
I
all.
One's
am.
terrible and the other's kind of passable.
Well,
Remember when they just the trailer for Suicide Squad came out and it was literally just Margot Robbie holding a baseball bat and they're like, she's perfect. They did her they nailed the character.
Yeah,
She did a really good job.
I know, but you didn't know that in the trailer.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just literally
alright.
someone
you
holding a
knew,
baseball bat.
You
You knew, you could tell.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna swing. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like her, and it's not a joke or a pun. And everyone's like, she's perfect. They nailed her. They got her.
She said Mr. J, did you? Mr.
Mr.
J!
Elyse,
I
can
knew
we
she-
intro ourselves
I
as
was-
our favorite
I'm-
DC
I was
heroes?
trying to get to
No,
that.
favorite Suicide Squad heroes.
Oh, just Suicide Squad? Yeah.
I'm Elyse Willems, otherwise known as Killer Croc.
Nah.
Good impersonation. Now, scurry away.
I'm drowning.
Who are you, James?
I'm James Willems, also known as the black woman who organizes it all.
Oh, Viola Davis?
Viola Davis.
Cool. I'm the Mexican witch doctor, right? What's his
Is
name?
it Diablo?
El Diablo.
I don't know if it's
Doctor.
L.
I don't know
think
what he
it's
Combined
was.
Enchantress
Diablo.
and Diablo into one new
I'm
character.
Diablo.
Wow.
Whatever, I'm Fireman.
Yeah.
Hello, I am everyone's favorite
I knew he would be.
Oh,
I
it's
didn't-
Boomerang.
I didn't take it.
No, it's me, Slipknot.
Oh,
Slipknot.
right.
I didn't want to
Slipknot.
say that.
Why did I-
I plan to go along with this mission unless you, Captain Boomerang, have any suggestions.
I'm not Captain Boomerang. I'm Viola Davis.
Any
Yeah.
suggestions? Should I run? Okay, let's go. Let's get out of here.
He loves doing that voice.
I'm Adam Kovic. Hi, thanks for
every
having me.
single character in Suicide Squad has something about them that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course. Yes.
Like
Did you
it's
not-
like their weakness or whatever. Like Diablo's like, I promise to never use my powers again because I killed my wife.
He killed his family.
They're like, what about that footage we saw of you in the prison incinerating everyone because there was like a riot that you were involved in?
They were
He's
bad people.
Yeah, there was like
That
meatloaf
was
and he got
not-
mad.
No, it's different.
No, man, that was a pickup shot.
I didn't realize I was in a script.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
that's
when-
good.
No, sorry.
You're the host of
No,
this.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna, I was
I
gonna
don't want
say,
to talk about Suicide
Killer
Squad
Croc can't say
anymore.
Well, I was gonna say that's why Diablo's not getting his own standalone movie.
What?
But newsflash, big news this week that's very pertinent to Funhaus. That's why we're talking about it. Jared Leto's Joker is getting his own movie, and this may be throwing you for a loop.
What?
Because
Yeah,
in
what?
2017, it was announced that Todd Phillips, you know him from The Hangover, he was going to be helming a Joker Origins movie starring
What?
Joaquin Phoenix.
What the fuck
Remember
is going
this?
on?
Remember
Yeah.
this news?
Yeah,
I-
2 Joker movies? 2 new
Well,
Joker
but-
movies?
And everyone was a little bit hopeful because Martin Scorsese was signed on to produce, and everyone was like, "Is hell freezing over? How is this happening?" Diablo would never let hell freeze over, but
No, I wouldn't.
so now we're getting this.
Nice.
This now
why, 'cause
apparently DC is just like whatever.
They've been like that for a while,
Yeah.
yes.
So now Jared Leto is getting his Suicide Squad spin-off as the Joker. And now I've learned that the Todd Phillips one is being branded as a DC Origins. It's falling under that umbrella.
Wait, well, hold on.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, no, you got you.
I
I
was
want
like,
you.
correct me if I'm wrong, but after Suicide Squad came out, weren't they saying like, oh, we're going to do a Joker movie with Jared Leto? Yeah. We're going to explore this character more.
Yes.
But then that kind of died away.
That died away. The Joaquin Phoenix one
Right.
Rose to
rose
the
from
top,
the ashes.
Yeah.
So are these 2 movies tied together? Is
No.
the
I don't
Todd
know
Phillips
what they're doing
DC
over there.
Origins Jokers?
It goes
Right?
Marvel in
Yeah.
terms of like franchise control. Marvel, Star Wars,
Okay.
and then DC.
DC?
Well, I mean, Dooku.
Oh, Dooku.
Oh, well, yeah.
Dooku's above.
I guess Dooku's above Marvel. There's a coherence there
No, I'm.
because there's only one, so they don't have to do it.
So they're not tied together. It's not the origin of Jared Leto's Joker.
No, so they're introducing these multiple DC cinematic banners under which different films will fall.
So
I hate it.
I'm only okay with this because there are some really good DC animated movies out there that don't follow any sort of cohesion. They are like there's
Standalone.
the Batman that just came out.
Batman Ninja.
Yeah.
There's Gotham by Gaslight. Then there,
Yeah.
I think I said that right. Those are recent ones, but they also did like Under the Red Hood, and some of those are like there's like the New 52 sort of thing. So like there is some cohesion there, but sometimes they can just do these one-off movies and they're fine. And I feel like I almost kind of rather have that than trying to do another Me Too cinematic universe, except they're also trying to do the cinematic universe
That's
I'm almost positive there are people working at DC and Warner Brothers, and they're not talking to each other.
Well, the thing is, those animated movies work because they're kind of like, I mean, they're not low budget, but they're
Kind of cheesy.
They're
cheesy.
they're not competing
They're under
with Pixar.
Right.
They're under the
Like,
radar. Yeah.
They're just kind of these low profile things.
And they don't
that
need
they
to
just
rely
slide
on
in.
like huge, talent with paychecks,
Right.
right? You
Yeah.
can,
Yeah, as long as it's drawn cool and it looks and there's some cool action in it, you're okay with it. And then, like you've told me about them, and I've tried to go and watch a few of them. A few of them are kind of garbage. Don't like, and
absolutely.
some of them are okay. Like I was like, oh, all right, that wasn't so bad.
If you want to just see how in disarray DC is, look no further than The Flash. Like, The Flash was a show that was greenlit while they were at the same time working on The Flash as a movie, and they cast two completely different people. But the character looks almost the same in two different things. Like, if they had any sort of creative or like, not creative control, but like
vision.
just exactly any sort of cohesion, creative cohesion, someone would have said, no, make one or the other, or make the character from the show the one in the movie, something like that, anything. But it's just amazing that like studios not talking to television, but they're just doing whatever the hell they want.
Here's my question for you, because it sounds like now they're going to have these different umbrellas. So
That's a Slipknot?
the Jared Leto one will fall under present day. It also doesn't make any sense because Joaquin Phoenix, his Joker movie is going to be under the Origins brand.
Yes.
But Joaquin Phoenix is old.
When you say Origins brand, is that
Like origin stories, I
okay?
imagine.
So does that fall under the Wolverine's
See,
Origins?
I was under the
I don't
impression
know.
that DC was scrapping the DC EU. They're scrapping all the Zack Snyder stuff. They're basically like, other than the Wonder Woman thing that they're going to continue.
But
they're
what
not-
about Aquaman?
They're not
It's already
going
in production.
right, but they're not going to continue that universe.
Well, I think it's just now my understanding of it is that DC is creating this sandbox. So these directors, these auteurs, if you will, can come in and say, I'm going to take this character and do my version of it. And
Right.
I'm going to...
But that's not really an extended universe,
not,
though.
but
It's just like standalone movies.
But is it smarter if DC said, hey, we tried to do the Marvel model of universe building and we failed at it? So is it more realistic for us, and is it a better plan for us to say, scrap the massive universe and just make these unique, like one-off versions of our characters? Is that smarter for DC? It might be.
For now.
I think if it would be smarter if they weren't spending $100 million plus on these things. Like that's the catch. The price tag. You can do the Blumhouse model, and you can just do like comics do it. Comics are like, hey, we got this run of Batman that's running alongside this short run of Batman or whatever. But it's because it costs nothing, costs pennies. But when you're
Those knives are
when you're putting
expensive.
$100 million up front, you're kind of banking on something being successful, and the last thing you want to do is water down a brand that can get people in
Which
the theaters.
Suicide
I think-
Squad did make $650
Yeah.
million worldwide,
I was
which is
just-
nothing compared to Avengers.
No,
But
I was going to say, I think we're kind of forgetting that. Like, Suicide Squad's budget, what, Elyse? Was it like $200 million or
I can look it up.
something like that? And I know they spent a fuckload on marketing, but either way, the movie made money.
It did,
and I think people are still, regardless
Yeah,
of what we
it's
think of it,
$200
regardless of what we think of Suicide Squad, it made a pretty good amount of money.
a lot of Halloween
the problem
costumes.
is that the Justice League came after it, and Justice League didn't make that money.
Yeah.
Like Justice League made some money, but it didn't make that much money,
so can
and
you,
so it showed.
fool me twice? Is it possible?
Yeah.
I'm just saying it shows a kind of brand fatigue.
Well, it does, although I don't know that executives look at it that way. I don't know that the Warner Brothers executives look at it that way and go, you know what? Maybe people are getting tired of everything in DC. They may be saying Suicide Squad is successful. Justice League is not.
I don't
So
know.
we'll make
You look
more
at
Suicide Squad.
Justice League still is a little shy of $700 million. I don't know if that's
That's true.
it's not much to scoff at.
No, that's true.
But I think most people can look at it and go, quality's not so great.
Yeah,
Like it's so rare to see something like the obvious comparison is Infinity War. You know, compare Infinity War to Justice League. Came out around the same time. They're both build-ups, but one earned it, and one is good and got constant praise and made a shitload of money. Whereas one came out, made a lot of money, but a lot of people went, "What the fuck?"
Well, I think also the difference is that with studios, it's not always pennies in versus pennies out. Like Justice League made a lot of money, but then they got on a call with their shareholders and they're saying, why did Justice League like cost more to make than Infinity War, but made a fraction of it.
Yes, you're right.
And
the margin's worse.
That's
Yeah.
important because that's what makes these big businesses. They're not trying to necessarily make money off. They're trying to make money off their shareholders and keep those people happy. And those are the numbers that matter because humans are illogical. So, like those are the things to consider as well.
I forgot that he was in this movie.
Who
I
is this
forgot
man?
that everyone
The
was
guy
in this movie.
from like, is he in the League?
I think he's.
Cock blockers in the Mindy. Was he in the
What's
Mindy
his name? I always
project?
forget his
I don't know.
name.
I don't know.
He's funny.
He is funny.
He wasn't funny in this, but
Yeah.
whatever.
one was.
What do you mean?
No
the
one wants to
laugh
know.
a minute movie known as Suicide Squad?
So,
I haven't watched it again since it came out.
but is this just speculative, Elyse? Is this just Jared Leto coming off his tour
I mean, let's-
of 30
let's-
Seconds to
let's
Mars and saying, I need
Double check
something
the
to do?
story.
If you ever
This
want to
is-
feel bad about your life, follow his Instagram account. He's so much better than you.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. I met him in person.
I watched the documentary he made
has
about
to.
himself. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
This is according to a Variety report, so it's not just some like nobody
yeah.
publication. Apparently, this is
A guy in his
multiple
office.
sources going to Variety.
Yeah, sources tell
and saying this,
Variety.
and this is
Promises.
this is
so you give me
them
that.
them saying that they're just going to create separate cinematic universes, the origins and then the present day.
What a mess.
So that way they can have multiple actors playing
fucking
multiple
mess.
or the same
But
character.
see, we don't know that it's a mess. The only reason we know it's a mess is because of Marvel. We didn't used to think this was a mess.
No.
We used to
No.
think when we saw two Batmans, like
More Batmans!
the original Batman in '89, and then Batman Begins in 2005. We were like, whatever, sure, give it to us.
Well, except that there was the time. There's been no time.
yeah, well, that
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, the best example I can think of here is when they were like, we're starting Spider-Man over. With Andrew Garfield, I'm like, oh,
Well-
it hasn't even been 10 years since the first one,
They
but
made
I guess
two of
you're,
them.
you're starting over. And then they made another, we're starting Spider-Man over. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And this isn't even going to be a Donald Glover Willy Wonka situation where it's like 5 years apart. These movies might be coming out concurrently or
don't know.
close
You didn't know
to.
that?
Donald Glover's going to be Willy Wonka?
possibly.
Possibly. That's
Whoa.
another thing that's going on.
Elise and I have the same Google News feed. That's how I know.
We
Are they
do.
gonna like solo it up, and at the very end he falls into like a vat of bleach? And then
This is
they're
the
like,
chocolate factory.
Oh, no.
This is the chocolate factory. This is the chocolate factory. This is the chocolate factory.
how did he turn? How did his skin turn? It's like, don't do that. Just how about we just say it's a character, and we don't need to make race an issue? Because
Yeah, that's Willy Wonka shortlist.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's
And
is
Ryan.
he to play Wonka?
so Paul King from Paddington is directing Willy Wonka, which is great. Paddington
cool.
2 is fantastic.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants.
But yeah, they're saying Donald Glover
Or
is,
Ryan Gosling.
maybe Gosling.
Oh,
But,
Glover's got way more different charisma, but way more
Yeah.
cartoonish, fun charisma.
I think he knows how to play a
Gosling.
character more than Gosling. Gosling would just sit there and look beautiful.
my chocolate factory.
His Chocolate Factory would have a dark story where he like didn't have a dad or something.
Brooding.
Yeah, he's a brooding. I guess my question about this Jared Leto movie is he had a really shitty cameo in Suicide Squad, but is there anything redeemable about him that could make a good feature focused on him?
Harley Quinn.
No. Well, I
Harley
think
Quinn was
Jared
the only-
Leto is a great actor.
He is.
He is.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times it's really easy to place the blame on one person when watching a movie. But there's a lot of moving pieces, and there's a lot of people who said yes to bad decisions on that movie. Like, sure, do kind of a Heath Ledger impersonation. That's fine. Yeah, metal teeth look great. Tattoos on face?
It's called
Good.
a grill, Adam.
Was it a grill?
It's called a grill.
Whatever.
There's the story that Heath Ledger went into his Joker audition and he smeared the makeup all over his face, and that's how he got the part. He came in there and they said, "Oh, we like this look," but I doubt that he went and designed this look.
I like that Adam said we
And-
shouldn't blame one person because I'm going to blame one person.
Who?
And that one person
David
is David
Ayer?
Ayer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to say David Ayer was the fuck up because this entire movie wasn't good. And I think that David Ayer directing Jared Leto being the good actor that he is, was like, you know what? I'll listen to my director. And he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Well, I think. Well, I would say probably having no idea. I would say what seems to have happened is that with an actor like Jared Leto, and from what I've seen of himself in his documentary and Adam's talking about his Instagram account, someone told him a long time ago how great of an actor he is.
Sure.
And so,
My So-Called Life.
when you get someone like a Jared Leto or a Johnny Depp type, and they're like, I'm just gonna act, and no one's gonna tell me, all right, chill it.
Yeah.
All right, chill it out. Like, settle down.
That's
you don't
pure
need to paint a
speculation.
face
You don't
on
know
your
him.
face.
You don't know him. You can't make those
I
accusations.
guarantee you, David Ayer didn't step in and say, we need to reel this in a little bit because
Oh, yeah,
this
no,
is
no, he didn't.
distracting.
Yeah, 100%.
This is too distracting because he was probably loving going to whatever
Place
like
he
you
did,
he
yeah.
read the stories. He was like, oh, he gave people rats on set.
Right.
And like at some point, David Ayer should have stepped in and like, enough with the rats.
Yeah.
Settle the fuck down. Let's make this movie. You're just a part of it.
There's
you
a
know?
BTS shot of Heath Ledger doing a kickflip over Christian Bale in the Batman outfit
yeah.
when they had some downtime. He's like, hey, can I skateboard over you? And like, yeah, bro. And it's
Yeah.
like, he didn't send people rats. He was clearly having a good time on set.
Well, he did die.
Well, not,
did a lot
not
of
during the
meds. He
movie.
was a lot-
he's
Yeah,
not on
yeah,
drugs.
Too
No,
good
but
of a time.
I'm just saying he
maybe.
wasn't like, he was never like, I will stay in character
Yeah.
and I'll be like this the whole time. It's just like, I'm going to go do a magic trick. He's probably like, hey, is that a skate? Oi, is that a skateboard? Hey, it's Darius. I'm the fucking Joker.
Oh, is it 10 Things I Hate About You and Night's-Tale?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Why is he from Southern England?
Yeah,
I
from
don't
like
know.
1892. What I would hope that someone competent could sit down with who I will say Jared Leto is a good actor. I feel like playing a character like the Joker is a good actor's wet dream because they're like it is a character that no one has to play a certain way. I think it would be disingenuous to the character to look at it and go, you're going to play crazy. Because it's like, what is crazy?
Yeah.
Everyone has a different definition of crazy. So I think it would be really cool if someone who actually understood the character in some way could workshop on something, be like, what's a new take that we can do on this that
Yeah.
people would like? You know who actually played the Joker recently, who did a really good job? Freaking Tony Hale from Arrested Development. Buster Bluth plays Joker in Batman Ninja.
Oh, yeah,
really
yeah.
great
Voice
one.
of the Joker.
Yeah.
He voiced it, but he still acted. And I was like, fucking did a
Do
great
you
job.
know who I would cast as the Joker right now?
Whom?
Lakeith motherfucking Stanfield.
Oh,
I'm
that's
down
good.
with that.
If I was like a suggestion,
He's kinda crazy.
He's cool. He's
Yeah.
just a cool guy, and he's a great actor. I think I'd love to see what he would do.
They'd
with
use
it.
it. They wouldn't give him something high profile. Like they'd make him be a Riddler. they were like, we're not ready for a black Joker.
The puzzle guy.
I feel like after so many movies of theatrics, I feel like what you do is you scale it back. Like I think you reel it way back in. Like I don't think you go so loud and big bullets and everything. I think you almost make someone who's very buttoned up.
Yeah.
Jared
Like-
Leto has to be that though. If it's his Joker,
I don't know.
he's got to be the crazy
But he-
Joker
like-
he played in that and Suicide
But
Squad.
like the character he played in Blade Runner was good, and he held back.
great.
But that's also an amazing director.
Oh, he's great in Dallas Buyers Club too.
Yes.
Awesome those movies.
I just think like the prospect of a Joaquin Phoenix one that it's like they had acknowledged that like we were going too far into the realm of ridiculousness here. So we're gonna step away from it. I was like, okay, and Joaquin Phoenix is also a fantastic actor who generally works with really good directors who reel him in or utilize his abilities correctly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I want to see any more of this.
And here's another just an overall critique for all actors. And this starts probably way further back, but most notoriously Parker Posey in Blade Trinity. The minute you put any shit in your mouth, it's distracting. Like this whole time you can see him talking. He goes, so what do you got going on here? It's like, just take him out. Just take the shit out of your mouth.
That's art directing him. That's not him. Maybe that's
Right,
him.
I'm just but like, not that anyone's going to do this. Go watch a little bit of Blade Trinity with Parker Posey, where she's got these. She's got fangs in the whole time.
We're good.
Thank you.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You won't, but everything is. What's going on here? We've got to stop Blade. What's that, Parker? I'm a vampire.
Let me see if I can find it.
What, Blade 3? Oh man. Or yeah, Blade Trinity the
This
third.
it?
Yep.
She's Danica.
She is another great actress. Probably
I like her a lot.
terribly miscast in this film.
She's horrible in Superman Returns.
Yes.
Just garbage. Like
She's probably better in
all the way
comedies.
garbage.
Most people probably don't know Parker
It's
Posey.
just someone made a music video for her.
Wait,
They did, yeah. Someone made a music video.
Shit.
they really liked her in Blade Trinity.
Yeah.
It's everyone's favorite character. I don't know. Anyway, don't worry.
Maybe I
Another
can't.
trailer
Don't worry
for
about it.
her.
You know
It's
what, yeah.
fine.
But you know what? There is another character that's getting its own their own spin-off movie, and that's Bumblebee from Transformers. That trailer just came out. And actually, like, if you haven't seen it, we can put it on now.
I watched it.
Yeah, let's put it on.
And check it out. This is Bumblebee. Set in the 1980s on the California coast, Bumblebee finds the titular Autobot in a younger state than he first appeared in 2007. He was described as a teenager in Transformers, but this suggests a little bit more of a childlike
baby?
Bumblebee.
He's a younger.
What, doesn't Transformers 1 begin with them all crashing?
There's no cohesion in those films. Like they try, but
Well,
I think they redo.
That's actually not
they
true.
retcon
Yeah.
things.
That's actually not true. Bumblebee he changed in Transformers. He changed in the first Transformers.
Well, he was.
He
wasn't
changed
he,
his form.
he was an old
But where
Camaro,
were
and then he
the-
became a new Camaro.
So I think he'd already been there. I don't remember, to be honest with you.
They're gonna
But-
they're gonna tell us what
I'm
happened.
sure they will tell us.
Also,
at the end of this movie, he either leaves or stays.
I know. I know one of maybe it was the bad guys came down at the beginning of Transformers 1. One of them lands in a pool.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
is like a naked robot
100%.
and then gets out and
100%.
scans something.
Yeah.
100%.
But Bumblebee was already here, if I recall.
I see. I
I saw that movie once.
The problem is that I don't know. I've seen it a ton of times, and I still don't remember if Bumblebee was there.
Yeah.
James is right though. They did a lot of them
maybe it's the
landed
bad guys.
Bumblebee is Sam Witwicky's car. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
because he bought it from a lot.
he buys it from a lot, and then I think there's even an old bug there.
There is.
Yeah, and that was a nod, and people were really upset about that. But it was more of like, well,
He's gonna look.
I'll just look it
James
up.
is
Chevy-
looking up right
Chevy-
look how
paid a
cute and
shitload of-
precocious he is.
Bumblebee's always been cute and precocious.
Hey, I mean,
Yeah, I don't
oh,
understand why they would take one of the silent Transformers, who is always wacky,
because
and then be like, let's make him even younger and wackier.
they're making him Iron Giant.
Yeah.
Really is
Yeah.
what this is more so. Just watching this trailer has much more of an Amblin Entertainment influence. It feels more like they're trying to make a Steven Spielberg movie about this like coming of age, unlikely friendship between this girl and a robot.
Well, it's directed
fighting
by the guy
against
that
all
did
odds.
Paranorman, and also he directed something else that's very similar
Yeah.
to
I'm
Paranorman.
gonna throw this out here. They already made this movie. It's called Monster Trucks.
Oh, with
It's true.
Creeks, or what's his name? Cricks?
What was it?
Creech.
Creech.
Yeah.
Oh look,
This is the funny stinger. He doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Bumblebee doesn't like it.
he tried to kill her.
that's great. I guess if I think it's probably a good way of doing a Transformers movie, right? Because those movies are big, loud, and you don't know what the hell's going on.
I still hold to the fact, James will disagree with me, but I still hold to the fact that the first Transformers is by far the best movie because you get to see how each Transformer transforms. And that's what you don't see in the later movies. Is that everything's just all garbage. It's all CGI garbage.
I hated how much Shia LaBeouf was in that movie.
There's
I
literally
loved
a
it.
moment.
I loved it.
There's literally a moment where they go, Optimus and Megatron see each other on opposite side of the street, and they're like, "Let's do this," and they go together, and they never make contact because the movie cuts away, and then goes somewhere else to Josh Duhamel going like, "I should slide the bike," and then as he's doing that in the background in blurry, you can kind of see
That's not true.
Megatron
This
and
is
Optimus,
totally not true.
Optimus Prime kind of fighting each other.
100% no way.
There's also another moment where they're like, "Oh, we should do something else really cool," and then they cut to Megan Fox, and then she's crying because she's like, "My dad was a criminal.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bumblebee?" And he goes, "Can we get back to the movie?"
James, how many Transformers movies have you seen in theaters? How many?
Three.
I've seen all of them.
What is that?
I've
How's
seen
that a qualifier of anything?
the
If
qualifier-
anything, your
the
opinion is
qualifier
worth less now.
Not at all. The qualifier is I've seen all these movies and they're all garbage, except for the first one. The first one's not as much garbage.
I disagree.
Because the last one is just a bunch of CGI fighting for no particular reason.
I disagree. I think that's the only thing these movies ever had going for them.
No.
And so the
Not
more
at
they
all.
leaned into it, the more I was like, thank God there's something of merit here.
But what's weird about that is that you're saying Bumblebee looks intriguing to you, correct?
No, I never said that.
That was me.
Oh, you didn't
was
say
Adam.
that?
I
You don't think
absolutely
Bumblebee
did
will be a good movie?
I do not care. It looks like a kid's movie. It looks
Oh.
like they're
Oh,
just.
okay.
It
All
looks
right.
like people have aged out of Transformers.
So-
The way you talked
Well,
about it
if
yesterday,
I
you
can
sounded
give you
excited
some-
about it.
I can give you
this
some
is the
background
first I've
on
heard
it.
of this movie existing.
I can give you some
mentioned it
background
yesterday.
on it.
I did not.
that
I
was
can
me.
give you some
Just
background
mentioned.
on it.
No, you mentioned.
I can give you some background on it.
100% mentioned it yesterday.
I had
I
no idea
mentioned-
this
I
movie
mentioned it.
existed
You know
until
what?
she just brought it up
It was
just
me.
now.
We can give you some background on it.
Sure, yeah.
So Transformers 7 was canceled. That was
Okay.
supposed to be in the slate and it was pulled. It's supposed to come out in June 2019. Bruce is right. Bumblebee is also from the Kubo guy, Travis Knight. And so after this, they're like probably rebooting the franchise and pushing it away from Michael Bay. It's like a whole new team of writers.
That would be nice.
So I feel like that's why this like Bumblebee is a huge like tonal shift from Transformers.
there is-
The audience also aged out of Transformers.
the audience aged
Like,
out,
they're-
yeah.
They weren't adding anything to the movies that made like the people that were whatever 15 when the first Transformers come out think that they want to see it now in their 20s. Like they don't care about it anymore, so they're like, okay, well,
Bruce still cares.
I mean, I've seen them
it's
all.
different for the people who are in their 20s.
I've seen them all in theaters. You're the one that keeps saying you're falling asleep during the films. So I knew you'd disagree. You have totally said that.
No,
never
I
said
got
that.
diarrhea during the last one, and I had to leave.
Was that first night? Last night?
Regardless, I knew you'd disagree with me, and that's why I said I know James will disagree with me. So
Yes.
jeez.
And I am, so that should be fine.
My opinion is never worth anything in these movie podcasts. So it doesn't
like
matter.
Bumblebee is that now they're trying to make a kids movie because they're like shit. No kids are going to see Transformers because I guarantee these movies come out and they release a whole new line of Transformers last night toys and they don't sell.
The Mark
and they're
Wahlberg
like,
toy didn't sell?
So they're like, oh shit, we have completely lost children at some point along the way in making these movies. So let's do one with just one character and rebrand it as something for young people. So they made a tween movie for.
There's a weird thing Michael Bay does, and I guess people finally started getting tired of it. But I remember it was even mock. Someone did a mock script of Batman as like rebooted by Michael Bay, and there's a part where like the president calls Batman, like, Batman, we need you in the White House. Like, can't come right now, Mr. President. I'm like, that is a very Michael Bay thing, because I remember hating that in the original Transformers, where they're like, what does the U.S. military think about?
Yeah.
Like, I always remember Transformers being kind of a smaller story of like some kids and their robots, you know? But then again, that's
the first one.
That's
sorta
my
was.
nostalgia doing its thing. Did they bring back Megan Fox for this one?
No.
Or that's just someone who looks like Megan
has
Fox?
a thing for people that look like Megan
Fox.
Fox.
That's
She's a porn star.
but regardless, I think it would be kind of nice to cleanse the Bay taste out, just to kind of see what it looks like. Because I think a lot of people were asking for a Bumblebee type movie. These are like I guess I hate saying this, the Transformers purists, even though we're talking about a cartoon that was made solely to sell toys.
Yeah.
It is a 30-minute cartoon that's a commercial, essentially.
It'll be better on a smaller scale. That's just the bottom line.
I think you can tell a better story, at least a more cohesive one, which, to their credit, I mean, which one did we see, Bruce? The one with dinosaurs?
Three, 4?
Extinction? Age of Extinction?
Yeah.
And that movie's a fucking mess, but I still followed it.
Did you? Oh,
yeah, like it somehow, it was 3 movies in one, but I somehow still followed it.
Because Optimus says, we're going to China.
Yeah.
They have a line in there. They don't just appear in China.
We're off to bigger box office receipts. Like, okay. And away we go. And now they're dinosaurs.
Look at this. Is rumored to explain how Bumblebee lost his voice box.
Who cares?
Movie details.
Thanks.
That is not an important...
Yeah, Michael Bay not directing in any capacity. So yeah, it is kind of like the
restraining order against Michael Bay.
Is he producing? He must be producing, I would assume.
I mean...
yeah, he's staying on as a
Probably,
producer,
yeah.
but probably like a cocktail party producer, you know, where he just comes in, screams at you once, and
There's
then
a role called check
he's
casher.
out of there.
That's kind of what Spielberg was
look at
on
this.
these.
A street sign reads Bayview. This is a reference to producer Michael Bay.
Probably isn't.
You're making James more upset.
Well,
Fuming.
James, do you have the movie details trivia that you read to us earlier
Oh.
from Batman?
All the Batman Nolan movies. All of the villains almost die in the beginnings of the movies, which would have made the rest of the movies not happen. Also, maybe they were dreams.
It's not a movie detail.
On that note, on the note of dreams, actually, you dream better when you get a good night's sleep.
That's
Oh,
right.
And
nice segue.
that leads us to our read from our sponsor,
That does.
Adam. Bake it away.
That does Elyse.
No, just Elyse.
Elyse.
Just Elyse, read the thing.
Yeah, this is, our sponsor this week is Lisa. Makes fantastic mattresses. We can attest to that. Our very own Bones made a baby in one.
That's
You-
true.
You can get $160 off by going to lisa.com/filmhouse. You should know how to spell it by now, but why not? FILMHAUS is the deepest discount they have ever offered. So fantastic. Talk a little bit about the company. One thing, they do donate a mattress for every 10 sold, and they do plant a tree for every order received. We're gonna repopulate this planet, y'all. Get some new oxygen
Repopulate.
with trees.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Eat shit,
I thought you were talking
Fungally.
about bones
They have
again.
7 billion people.
That 23,000 mattresses have been donated thus far. with over 11,000 five-star reviews, you cannot go wrong with this company. Oh, you got them up on the screen
Yeah,
there.
I just popped it up here.
Yeah, sorry,
Nice.
audio listeners, but we're actually checking them out. Lisa mattresses are loved by over 300,000 happy sleepers and counting, soon to be 300,001 with Bones Baby. Have we named that child yet? Anyway, socially conscious with a mission to
I
end
don't know who he's
bedlessness
talking to. I'm not
in
sure.
America.
He knows the kid's been born for a while, right?
I was thinking of Joel's kid. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the Bones' name of the kid.
They named their child when
Sorry,
it was born months ago.
I have Joel in the brain. I'm not going to say the name of the kid. I know the name. Anyway, there's a fun little thing. I will say this: sleeping is, I will argue, the most important part of your day because it sets you up for the next part of your day. And if you don't sleep well, you're gonna have a bad day. So thank you, Lisa Mattress, for sponsoring us. Once again, check them out. Get $160 off by going to lisa.com/filmhouse. Thank you for letting us sleep better and keeping the dream alive.
Thank you, Adam, for that beautiful read.
Thank you, Elyse.
Seamless.
We're going to close out the show by kind of talking about what's coming up here. I'm seeing Hereditary this weekend, that upcoming horror movie we've talked about on the podcast before. And then Incredibles 2 comes out.
The Increditing.
It comes out next week.
Do you think that Jared Leto is going to Instagram a picture with a caption that says "excited to get back in the costume" and it's going to be his hand tattoo?
Nobody even just all said ugh.
I haven't checked. Is Brad Bird doing this one? Is
Yeah,
it the
yeah.
OG,
it is,
OG
yeah.
team? Everyone's
Yeah.
back?
The whole gang's back together except for the voice of the children
No, I
because
thought-
they became grown men.
Out,
Oh.
yeah. But, Holly Hunter's back, and she's
Yeah.
kind of taking a center stage in this one. Because
Wow.
now she's the big hero. And
Yeah,
Mr.
she's the one, right?
Mr.
Hashtag me
Incredible,
too.
Yeah, Mr. Incredible's taking a backseat to her career. Look at that.
she's thick.
Yeah, that's what people like love about her. Like,
Oh,
look
man.
at her.
There was that
Let's
one scene.
objectify her
There's
in a
that scene
second.
in
Look at
Incredibles
her.
1. So she has full control of her body, but then there's that one scene where she looks and she goes, "Ugh, my butt's getting big." It's like, don't you have control of that?
Yes.
Yeah, interesting.
But when
That
that,
was, I think, the joke.
she'd have to constantly focus on it, though, right?
I
Probably.
don't, I'm not, I don't care.
It's like how
I
Cable
look at her.
has to use some of his psionic powers to keep his body from falling apart.
So far, the reviews are pretty excellent
I can't
across
wait.
the board.
It's gonna be great.
But until we see that, is there anything that you guys are watching right now, movies or otherwise, that you would recommend that you're really into?
Yes, I am watching things, Elyse. But I'll let someone else talk for once. I'm watching Brockmire.
He's watching. So tell him about Brockmire.
Everyone should be watching Brockmire. I think that's probably it. It's sucks because I think it's on Stars, and no one gets Stars. It's so weird.
How can we get stars?
Can you give us your password?
Use promo
Well,
code
no,
Filmhouse.
You get, it, you get it the same way you get HBO. Like you got to pay for it.
Amazon.
But through the Amazon thing. But that's like Party Down was on Stars. Spartacus was on Stars. Like some of the best shows made go there to die, and it sucks because no one's watching it. But Brockmire is a great show. Hank Azaria created the character. Very funny. It's on the second season. It's really good. And then also watching Legion. That's also probably the best show on right now. And I gave up on Westworld. Yep.
That's about right.
I
Yeah,
think a lot of people did.
it's not good. It's not a good show anymore.
How far did you get into season 2?
I watched one episode and then I think half of another one and then skipped a couple episodes, watched it. It's like,
Oh.
it's going nowhere. Like that show's, it seems incoherent. Why are we watching Hotel
Yeah, at least
Transylvania?
you're gonna watch Hotel Transylvania 3.
We're gonna go full on the webcam, so no one's gonna know I'm watching this.
Oh,
What are you checking out right now, Bruce?
it
Anything?
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But you like
I like lots of things.
Yeah.
But they all don't matter.
Oh well. And James, you.
I'm waiting for Hotel Transylvania 3.
Okay. All right.
Because they go on cruise.
And yeah, Kimmy Schmidt, I guess, was me.
Oh fuck!
Oh, are you watching that? Is it
The new
good?
season. I mean, I still have some of the greatest joke writing.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, is it better than the last?
Yeah, I
season?
think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Last season was a little rough.
That's what I
never
I
finished
watched
it.
a few episodes and it was okay.
Yeah. How far are you in Arrested Development?
I think I'm only 4 episodes. How far are you?
Oh, I'm
We
only,
finished it.
oh damn!
really wanna
I'm only
finish it.
3 in. Do you watch more than one at a time?
Yeah.
See, I savor them.
I want to watch it.
I'll never watch more if I'm watching a show episodically, unless it's something like American Vandal, where I'm like, oh my god, I need to know what happens next. I can't binge a show like that because then you're out of good shows.
It's Netflix autoplay that does it. Because if you're
like,
you're
ah,
like, where's
fuck
the
it, yeah.
remote?
Yeah, just
Hold
let it
on,
go.
let me get, and then it's going. You're like, better
Watch
skip
another
the
one.
intro. How does it say nighttime all the time on Hotel Transylvania cruise?
They only go out at night.
How does that work? Now I'm gonna have. Oh, they're clear. I saw the Aurora Borealis.
So they're on the North
So
Pole?
they must be doing North Pole. Is that how that works?
I think you're absolutely right. I think you're 100% right about that.
All I know is,
Oh,
They threw it all.
oh my god, this looks like a nightmare.
I thought we were going full on the webcam. Nobody can see what we're watching.
I guess that's the show for this week. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you to Lisa. Thank you to Adam for the beautiful read.
You got it.
Thank you to Bruce for cherishing everyone's loves of media and film and television. Thank you, James, for the hot takes.
Love those hot takes.
The dare to be risque.
he said I was going to
opinions.
disagree with him.
And I was right.
Right. And thank you, Elyse. Have a great night, everyone.
They already revealed the twist. This movie sucks.
Oh,
Granted, she calls her kids out at the end, but not in the way that I wanted. It frustrated me that she didn't say, like,
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, kids.
Like,
Seriously.
I believe you called one of her daughters a cunt in the middle of
I whispered
He
cunt.
whispered cunt to me during this scene.
They play cunt well, and I don't think they were acting very hard.
No, Alicia Silverstone